With Close to Clay Sync, you can sync multiple filtered lists of leads and contacts in Close to a workbook in Clay. This is great for using Clay to add any type of enrichments or other data that you have in the rest of your sales and marketing stack. And this app makes it easy for you to get these existing lists of leads and contacts that you have in Close into Clay with very little hassle, and it's all done for you. So I'm going to take you through a quick demo on how this works and how to set up your first sync. So first, I'll go to clay.closekit.com and then sign in with my Close account. Once signed in, I can now set up my first sync. So I'll click Create First Sync, and then now I have a few configuration steps that I need to go through. So the first one is I'm going to create a name. So I'm going to do this uh, Close to Clay Sync demo. And I'm going to start with a lead list, and I need to get the close filter JSON. So now if I go into Close, I've got my list that I want to sync into Clay. And here's just a list of customers. So in this example, I have my customer list, and maybe I want to run some enrichments on them, or have the data show up elsewhere in my sales and marketing stack. But the big problem is that I can't get this always updated list of leads or contacts into Clay. There's no way to actually do that, at least easily. So this app makes that possible. So what I'll have to do is click Copy Filters JSON. Close gives me a handy list of JSON on how to find or filter these using the Close API. So I will go and paste that in. And then now I need a webhook URL for the workbook that I'm going to be working in. So here I created a new workbook in Clay. I'm going to click All Sources, and I'm going to click Webhook. And doing that will give me this API, this URL, this webhook URL to send updates to. So let me hit copy, and then boom. Should be able to create my sync, and the initial sync will start off. And if I look at my workbook in Clay, I should see these new events coming in to the workbook. So this is not really a handy way to look at this information. So actually, let me click into one of them and add the lead ID as a column. So I'm going to do Close Lead ID, create column. So it'll show that. And then I'm going to add the name. This is the lead name. Lead name. And then let's look at the status label. That tells me what status they're in. So there we go. So now I have this workbook that with this information. So here I've got, let me move my face. Here I've got 39 leads. If I look in Close, 39 leads, so I'm good to go. So now if I were to just pick a random lead and move it to customer, now I've got 40, and this is out of sync. Now, if I went away from my computer, did nothing, Close to Clay Sync is going to sync automatically every single hour. But if I'm testing right now and I just want to sync right now, I can do that. It should pick up the changed record. And if I go in, I should see that record right there. So boom, that works. So one other step I need to do before I can, go do other things in Clay is I need to make sure that we are handling any duplicates can come in, because you do make changes to these leads and contacts over time, and the new syncs go into the Clay workbook. It's going to create new rows, and we want to avoid that, right? So if I hit Edit Table Settings and select Auto Dedupe Rows and select by the Close Lead ID, which is a unique identifier, and select Keep Newest Row, this will have the newest information on that lead or contact stored as a row. And this also helps us stay away from duplicates, but also there is a 50,000 row limit on Clay workbooks. So this will help me stay way under the limit and just have a unique lead or contact, if it's a contact sync, in this workbook. So with this information now in Clay, I can go link to other workbooks that have information. I can run enrichments on this information however I see fit. And then I can use the existing Clay integration that they have with Close to go ahead and update the lead or update the contact with that new information that I have. That doesn't change. If you want to go outside of the close integration that Clay has, you can of course use the HTTP API. This is a bit more sort of technical in nature, but it also helps you get around the upgrade prompt that you get because the CRM integrations are on a higher Clay plan. So now if I go back to the sync, you'll see that I have my list of syncs here. I have when it was last sync. I can delete it. I can perform a sync now, but again, this will happen every hour. So there you go. A simple tool and integration to keep your filtered lists of leads and contacts that you have in Close synced with the workbook in Clay to do whatever type of automations you would like. Cheers.